specific things that we're here for. Some for just basic understanding, basic knowledge. Some for that and maybe plus a definite need, a prayer request, a concern, an issue for yourself or for someone. The point is that the purpose for our coming together here is to learn how it is, or learn the truth, and know that it is already done. That's the bottom line, that's the fundamental, that's the baseline. That's why we're here. We're here to meet the divine. We're here by a divine appointment to experience this divine anointment, that the truth is, and that we come here for one goal, and that is to learn and enter into that truth that it is already done. We give thanks for that truth, that awareness, and so it is. Hey, that's what good you do. And to just continue from that knowingness, we're using the book authored by Neville Barter, who has many books. But did you receive the pass out by email, and where I quoted him from one of the books where he talked about reading many books and studying many books, and how it is that we should focus, once we find a teacher, an author, like the Bible also, is that if you can tap into the principles, the truth, the teachings of that one writer, that one teacher, and stay there, you'll benefit far more than reading many books. Now, hallelujah. Before I read that, I've seen that many years ago, but even without that reminder, I've been hanging out with the spiritual brother Valley for a long time. And I've been consistent. And so the book that we're using for a while, now we're using the Essential Collection, that's the one book, but that book is comprised of about 8 or 9 books in it. And there are 8, how many is it? About 8, 9 books in that one book. Feeling is the Secret is one of those books. Now, the reason that I chose Feeling is the Secret as the first book to use is because it's so clear to me. It's clear to you. It's I recognize some of you who have been students of New Thought for many years, which means that you've had the basic training, the basic understanding, the basic principles. Now, reading Feeling is the Secret, you know, it's taking you back to 101. Yeah. Isn't it? Yes. Yeah. It's basic, it's just like 101. It's like it's just very basic. There's nothing technical here. There's nothing you have to decipher or interpret. It's clear, it's clean, and it's basic, it's fundamental. All he's talking about is the law and the operations of the conscious and the subconscious mind. That's all he's talking about. That's all he's talking about. The working, the law and the operation of the conscious and subconscious mind. Male and female aspects of the one mind. How it works. Well, that's what we're taught in the basic classes, right?
Yes, right.
That's all we're doing here. Now, the title of the book is Feeling is the Secret. Let's listen to that. Let's listen to the title. Let's listen to the title. It says, Feeling is the secret. Feeling is the secret to answered prayer. Feeling is the secret to and in the law of demonstration. Feeling is the secret to healing. Feeling is the secret to changing things from what you do not want to things that you do want. Feeling is the secret to demonstrating your good, whatever it is. So is that good enough?
Yes, it is.
So that means that what we're talking about here is learning more about what feeling is and how to change your feeling. Here is what is so critical, is how to create feeling. How to create the feeling that is required, that is necessary for change and for demonstration. There's a science to it. There's an art to it. And so this whole thing is about feeling. How many times have you heard how you feeling? Am I right? Yeah. And here is the thing. Well, it's hard for me to tell you this, but we're making some changes. And your position has been eliminated or required. And we're going to have to give you a severance pay. And your services will no longer be needed after now. So when you get that information and you get that news, how do you feel instantaneously? In the next 5 seconds, in the next seconds, how you feel when you first get the news is going to determine the outcome. Well, we got the lab work back. I remember Sunday, the last time I was at guidance, huh? Who was not there? None of you. You were there.
I was there.
Who was there?
We were here.
We
were there.
Wasn't it something? My topic was going back another way. Now I'll have the CDs there next week, but it's on the website now. That's why you got to use the website. My topic was going back another way, and in it, we were talking about ending the old year, going into the new year, because this is a new year. And how are you going to govern yourself this year? How are you going to control your mind? That's what this topic is about today. Chapter 1, Feeling is the Secret. How are you going to control your mind in that instant as we go forward? The diagnosis is given to you. The prognosis is given to you. Because I had to deal with it a couple months ago, and that's what I talked about. So how do you receive it, and how do you feel when the doctor says this in that moment? How do you feel when that child says, you know what, I hate you? Or that husband or that wife, that neighbor, whatever. How do you feel? No, I'm not going to your birthday party. Because it happened to me. How do you feel? Give me some more examples. Well, as we go forward, financial situations. The credit was not approved. Contract was canceled. Whatever. Have I said enough? You've got to control your feeling in that instant. Now, That's talking about here going forward. Well, let's look back. I've been dealing with this medical issue for a long time. Now I know there's nothing the doctors can do to heal this or reverse it. And what I'm simply doing is managing it going forward. Because that's what healthcare is all about these days. Listen what it's called, health management. That's right. Managing. Well, whatever it is that you have me first, I'm talking to me, because I'm working on my stuff. Yes, now that I've got peace, because you can't do it without peace. So I'm going in steps. So I made my miracle happen. My goal, I was working on one thing for those 2 years. So I got mine and my breakthrough so that I can work on other stuff, especially in health management. Well, I don't want to manage no more. I'm coming out of management. That's my goal this year. I ain't managing it no more. So I'm going to stand in front of you and show you and let you know. Just like I'm standing in front of you and let you know how I deal with that emotional stuff, the relationship stuff. I'm managing. But that's going to change based on me changing my feeling about whatever issue I'm working on. And to the degree and unless and until I change my feeling and make a change in the feeling, I'm going to continue managing it. And I can live with it till I die. But what you also have to understand, that's the definition of sickness and that's the definition of problems. Do you know that for some people, that's not sickness? Whatever it is that they're managing it, they see it as normal. They see it as acceptance. You learn to live with it, but you know it's a sickness in somebody else's eyes. It's how I see. That's no. Some people are living in lack and limitation, less than and whatever, and it's a problem for you. Not them. And there's nothing wrong with them. There's something wrong with your eyes and your perception.
Exactly.
You see. So what happens to me is that I don't want it. And that's to me, it's a sickness and it's an illness, and I'm moving out of it.
Yeah.
So what we want to do here is this is what this is about. This is what it says. Healing is the secret, chapter 1. It's 4 chapters. And it's the chapter 1 is law and its operation. Law and its operation. You have it in front of you? Somebody needs a copy?
Is it in the class?
It's in your book, but today we have a pass out. Yeah. Yeah, you have it. And if you don't have it, we have it in the back. I need to move on. This pass out is condensed. It's an edit, narrowed down the chapter. This is not all of the chapter. I just pulled out some basic paragraphs from it. And he starts off by saying, the word. What is the word? See, it's underlined in this bold.
Yes.
Okay, now it's not a global thing that you see on your map. The word and all within it. We stop and say, how many worlds are there in the universe? The answer is, there are as many worlds as there are people who populate the universe. And you learn that by listening to the philosopher Gladys Knight. My world, his world.
Yes.
I'd rather live in his world than without him in mine. So your world is your life. Your world is your mind and all that you know. That's your world. Your world is in your perception. Your world is in your mind. Your world, my world. We're going to have one of the most dynamic, experiential forms, a form of prayer. I just got this last night. Yesterday morning, no, night before last. 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the morning yesterday morning, so it wasn't last night, the night before. I'm here in the room, not by myself. Oh, and I know it's the Spirit of Brother Neville guiding me. I was preparing for this, and my mind was on the meditation and the prayer exercises that I want to develop for us to interact with to make this practical. And then I was led to Quimby. Can you Parkhurst Quimby? Because I got him there in my computer. So I went over there and I started reading some of his letters that many people were healed by, because you lived in New England and you didn't have cell phones, you didn't have airmail that we came through with. You didn't have, it was the Pony Express, I guess, delivered mail back in those days. So what happened was that he would communicate with people across country, different places, and they would write to him for help. He would write back. And I'm putting some of these on the website so that you can read them. But in one of them, he was giving instruction to this sick person. And he was talking about giving an analogy of your nation, meaning your life, and how you let enemies through the borders, to do this and create the damage in your life and whatever. But I'm only giving you a little hit on it just to let you know that it's that concept that I'm developing a guided meditation for you with, and this is going to be awesome. When you can't be here, go to the website, or say pick up the CD from the next week. If you're not on the website, on computer, just pick up the CD the next week. You can't be here, ask me to mail it to you, so you can stay with us. Because this is going to be an evolving, unfolding experience, and I'm being led. All right. The world and all within it is man's conditioned consciousness objectified. Consciousness is the cause, as well as the substance of your entire world. Consciousness. So it is to consciousness that we must turn if we would discover the secret of creation. The secret of creation. Knowledge of the law of consciousness and the method of operating this law will enable you to accomplish all you desire in life. Now, I've already said all this, right? Armed with the working knowledge of this law, you can build and maintain an ideal world. Consciousness. Your awareness, that's another word for consciousness. Your awareness, consciousness, is the one and only reality. Haven't you seen the word awareness oftentimes as a synonym for God with a capital A? Awareness. Consciousness is the one and only reality. not figuratively, but actually. This reality may, for the sake of clarity, be likened unto a stream. Now watch this, consciousness, only reality. He's giving you an image now. Like a stream, which is divided into two parts. The stream, divided into two parts. What are the two parts? The conscious and the subconscious. See, consciousness is conscious and subconscious, above and below. Above and below. What's objectified and what's subjective. All of that working together is consciousness, your awareness. In order to intelligently operate this law of consciousness, it is necessary to understand the relationship between the conscious and the subconscious. Now, we went through a whole year of that 30, 40 years ago, right? Everybody in here, just about. That's what was drilled into you through all your basic training, basic understanding. All those books that you've read over the years, which were many, those cassette tapes, before that was whatever, then the CDs, and then teacher after teachers, workshop after workshop, seminar after seminar, meditation after meditation. That's all you were doing, learning this law. And still, putting myself included, we deal with situations with no results. Well, not the results we want and need. And we go forward acting as though there's something else to learn. That's why we're here. And it's very basic. Go back to basics. And that's what we're doing here. We're going back to basics, back to what we heard 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago. Nothing new. But this time, we're doing it in a different setting. I gotta stop and talk about this. We're doing it in a different setting. We're doing it in a different mindset. Oh. We're not going back. We're going back a different way. We're not going back the same old way. Going back another way. We are coming here as a prayer group. Okay? And what we're coming here to, the mindset is that we're coming here to practice. We're coming here to practice. We're coming here to do it. Right?
Yeah.
That's what we're here for. And so we're not coming here to go and listen. No, when we go out of this door, we're going to leave here doing it and applying it starting right now. We're not learning how to do anything. We're here to challenge each other, to rise to the task. And I've heard Esther say it, many times. I've been reading this stuff for a long time. And now I'm going to do it. That's what we're here for, y'all, is to do it. Let's go to the next paragraph. The conscious is personal and selective. The subconscious is impersonal and non-selective. And that's where the importance, where you really have to look at it. Non-selective. That's what gets us in our trouble.
Yeah.
Is see, we don't remember in that moment when you first hear bad news, or while you're thinking of the past experience that you're trying to receive a healing in or heal from, you're forgetting that every thought is creative. Every single thought is creative. Everything that comes out of your mouth produces. It's non-selective. That's the subconscious. The subconscious can't do your business of the conscious mind. It has its own function. That's a law. It has its own operation. That's law. It can select for you. Conscious mind selects. Subconscious mind, none selected. It receives whatever you select. The conscious mind is personal and selective. The subconscious is impersonal, does not know, in other words. Impersonal. No respect. The law is, have you heard, the law is no respecter of persons?
Yeah.
The conscious is the realm of effect. The subconscious is the realm of cause. The law of cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. The two aspects are the male and female divisions of consciousness. The conscious is male and the subconscious is female. Now, the conscious generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious, the female aspect, the womb, W-O-M-B, of nature, the womb of life, it receives these ideas and gives form and expression to them. It receives and gives form to whatever the conscious mind selects. It receives thoughts of evil, sickness, darkness, evil intentions, thoughts of worthiness, worthlessness, thoughts of prosperity. I can do all things, whatever it is, non-selective. I hate, I love. It does not discreet. Receives, and then gives form to the dark thoughts, just like thoughts of love or thoughts of hate. Which it knows how. Conscious mind knows what, select. Subconscious knows how to produce whatever you give it. It brings it into form. That is the law. Now, how it does what it does, that's God's mind.
Exactly.
It says in the book, my ways are beyond finding out. The metaphysical interpretation of that is that you tend to your business and I tend to mine. Now, the way I do it for you, I don't necessarily need to do it for you. You might need $10,000 in order to resolve this situation and get what you need, and you just might need, thank you, Lord, it's mine. And the one who says, Lord, I thank you, and just go get it without money, that's the law operating, because that's the seed that was given it. That person who planted the seed didn't ask for it conditionally. Do you need to repeat that?
Yeah.
Didn't ask for it with a mind already made up, I need to go get a job. Didn't ask for it with that thinking. They asked for it with the thinking that if I need the $10,000, then that'll come with it. Yeah, you were that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So,
Is this on?
yes, you gotta put it on.
I don't know why. You think this is on? Oh, there it is. No, there was a right there.
So speak
Can you
on
turn it on?
to speak on that thin line between conscious saying and subconscious doing when you say, make a declaration, and then there's oh but. That's within the conscious realm, because the subconscious realm is waiting for the final word. Is that what it is? And the subconscious is the one that's on the seesaw about
On the
it.
seesaw?
On the seesaw
The
about,
conscious mind.
well, my
Right,
history
right.
is not this,
Right,
so
right.
I can't.
It's conscious.
Yeah,
Well, the way you want me to
Elaborate.
elaborate on it, and the elaboration on
Why
it
is
is,
there that, because I think that's where everybody gets stuck.
I know, but the elaboration on it is simply this. What you're saying is, it's a rhetorical statement, simply because what you're saying, identifying for us what we're talking about. You're talking about your feeling right there.
Yeah,
You know, your feeling about it.
yeah.
That's all in feeling is the secret. Right there in the feeling is doubt. Right there in the feeling is, I haven't released this yet. Right there in the feeling is not certain, uncertainty. Right there in the feeling is how. The how is not cleared out of that from top of that top line. The what? You still got some how in your statement, in your declaration statement, in the back of the mind. Well, that's what prayer treatment is for. That's what treatment is for. So then it's okay. You understand it. That's just a natural phenomenon. So what happens is that now we're learning how to clear that. We're learning how to clear that up. That's what we're doing here. That's what this workshop is all about. Is how to clear that up and clear that out, and how to stop doing that. Because what you got here, you got the what with some how blended into it.
Yeah.
There's some elements of how in there, still in your mind. And so that's what meditation is for. That's what affirmations are for. That's what, staying on guard all the time, 24/7. Jesus had to do it. And he left us a statement, a declaration, an affirmation. Say that! Assume the position. It would come to his mind. Doubt, confusion, distraction, worry, fear, unbelief. That's the role of the ego. The ego you're never going to get rid of. That's a part of the human experience. That's it. The conscious generates ideas and impresses these ideas on the subconscious. The subconscious receives ideas and gives form and expression to them. Just gotta stay there a little bit longer. And gives form and expression to them. Do you know how powerful that is if we understand it and just leave it alone? It will give expression to it. I have to go back to the Grand Canyon. I went there many years ago. I use this illustration a lot, often. And here you are, if you can imagine, and those of you who've been there know, that you look over and it's bottomless, right? And you won't go too close. You gonna say, wait a minute. But there are sheets and sheets of what? Rock. Rock, no dirt. Rock, stone. Rock, stone. And yet, growing out of it are what? Vegetation. Trees. No salt. How? How are you going to explain that? There's a seed there. There's life. There's an idea. There is something there. And this life, this energy, this force, this intelligence knows how. Through the sheets and the rocks, find some way to express itself on the outer, to objectify itself. That which is subjective objectifies. That which it seems from impossible and impossibility creates possibility. Well, you understood that clearly until you start working on your healing. Until you start working on what you need to change in your life. Now, all of that, now you want to go find a different way. Now you want to find a new way. Some new instructions, some new something to do. You do nothing. What is that tree doing? What is that vegetation doing? What is nothing? It's just being and letting the intelligence bring it through. You just go on. But that intelligence will, in a financial situation, in your financial life, in your material life, in your provision life, in your relationship life, in your health life, it's the same principle. It's the same intelligence. It's the same stuff. It's the same thing. It's the same power. We get confused because of a word that we're going to be dealing with here in this healing, and that's called sensation. And our senses and our feeling is the secret. By this law, first conceiving an idea, then impressing the idea conceived on the subconscious. This law. See, we're talking about a law. You have the law of electricity, the law of buoyancy, the law of this, the law of this. But we're talking about the law of consciousness. Meaning the way things work. The manner in which it's done. The rules and principles that you got to cooperate with and do. The law. That's what law is, right? Law. By this law, what is this law? First, conceiving an idea, conscious mind, then impressing the idea conceived on the subconscious. All things evolve out of consciousness through this law. And without this sequence, there's not anything made that is made. Without this sequence. Without this sequence. Meaning anything that has come into my life, whether it's a health condition, whether it's a material problem in my financial life, problem in the relationship, whatever, it has come through a sequence. It didn't just jump down and start coming out of the subconscious mind before there was something happened first in my conscious mind, in my conscious awareness. Then I bought into, then I selected, that I chose, that I allowed to come into my world.
Yeah.
Now, this meditation that I'm creating for us is coming out of CNN, Fox News.
Okay.
Trump and immigration. See, they're trying to protect their world,
Yes. Yeah.
which is their nation.
Yeah.
And they're trying to stop the immigrants from coming in. From their, I'm talking about from their interpretation, from their mindset. I'm not talking about good, bad, right, and wrong. I'm using this as a principle, as an idea. And these immigrants, from their way they're trying to create the picture of now, are the enemies.
Yes.
Who are coming into our nation to corrupt, to kill us, to take our stuff away, and to set us back. See what I'm saying? And what they're trying to do now is build a wall around my nation to protect us from outside forces. Think about it. And that's what came to me when I was reading Quimby, when he gave this illustration. He was talking to this woman, and I said, I see it. And the way they perceive is that to make us right and whole, we have to deport. We have to get rid of them and stop them from coming. Well, see, when you look at this from a prayer perspective and sort of do a parallel thinking, because they're talking about crazy stuff, but when you turn this into a positive over here, into a way of meditating, that's what we're trying to do. in terms of our thoughts. We have let thoughts into our world, into our nation, that has done damage.
Yes.
And the Bible says the enemies are of your own household.
Yes. Yes.
The enemies are of your own household. And now what we're learning to do through prayer is how to expel them, how to neutralize them, how to stop them from creating havoc in our life, how to stop them from causing this impasse and all of this stuff. But we let them in.
Yes.
But through prayer and meditation, we're going to expel them, and we're going to build a wall so high they can't get over it, so thick they can't penetrate it. I got that from Israel and Palestine. Here, just the other day, they found an underground tunnel that they stopped. But they have built walls. But ain't nothing to stop them. What happened is that, you know what they're going to do now? They're going to build the wall underground.
Right. Yeah.
Around.
6 feet down.
Because every time they come up with something, they do something. That's what you're supposed to do in prayer.
That's right.
So what we're going to do is we're going to build a wall so high that the enemy can't go over it. And then we're going to build a wall so deep that the enemy can't penetrate it. And we're going to build a military force inside our nation that's going to spot them and kill them as they are found. That's it. Controlling the thoughts, killing those thoughts, and then preventing them from continuously bombarding and intruding upon your nation. That's the meditation that I'm designing. Okay. The conscious impresses the subconscious, while the subconscious expresses all that is impressed upon it. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind, what does it say? Feels to be true. Feels is a secret. So I got to reread that and focus on that feels to be true. The subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels as true. It's got to start with the conscious mind.
Yeah.
It's got to start with your awakened state. It's got to start with your mouth. It's got to start with as things happen. If you're dealing with a long-term standing issue, a situation, a relationship problem that you're working on, a long-standing problem in a medical or physical or sickness of the body, if it's whatever it is that, you know, your present thoughts, moment by moment, day by day, that your conscious mind is feeling that it's true, and you're giving life back to the thing. That's where its life is sustained.
Yes.
That's how it keeps living in the laboratory. The enemy. You're still feeling it as true. You're still feeling it as alive. You're still feeling it as the impossibility. You're still feeling it as I can't reverse this. You're still feeling no. You know the advantage that you have right now in being able to work on this is called cell phone and Bluetooth and all that kind of stuff. Because before, I know people thought I was crazy. Just talking to myself, and then, you know, there was no Bluetooth and there was no whatever, then I'd catch myself. But now they just think that you're talking on Bluetooth.
Yeah.
You know, so you can get away with it. Yeah, you can just sit in your car, you can just walk and talk, and they don't look at you crazy. They used to look at people and say, but now you just accept it as normal. People just be running them out. You don't see anything, you don't see it. Nothing. You know, you used to see these big old things hanging on the ear and all this. You don't see that anymore. They just put you next better start working it.
That's right.
I'm just driving, just carrying on. Well, I'm just working. Then I look at somebody smile. You call it Bluetooth awareness. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta stay on it.
That's true.
You gotta stay on
it, even in the middle of the night.
it. Okay, the subconscious does not originate ideas, but accepts. There it is. Accepts as true those which the conscious mind feels to be true, and in a way known only to itself, objectifies the accepted idea. I am healed now. You keep on saying that? Every day and every way I'm getting better and better. That's what it is.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
what I'm
Right.
Yes.
It's got to agree. Where two or more agree, the head and the heart. When the subconscious receives and you convince it that I'm walking. You convince it, I can. You convince it, it's already done. Guess what it gives back to you? It's already done.
Exactly.
It gives back to you, it's already done, objectified, expressed. Bringing it back, already paid. Therefore, it reads, through your power to imagine and feel, and his freedom, through his power to imagine and feel, and his freedom to choose, and your freedom to choose the idea he will entertain, you will entertain, man has control over creation. Therefore, through his power to imagine and feel, and his freedom to choose the idea he will entertain, man has control over his life,
Yeah.
over what happens in his life. Control of the subconscious is accomplished through control of your ideas and feelings. The mechanism of creation is hidden in the very depth of the subconscious, the female aspect or the womb of creation. The subconscious transcends reason and is independent of induction. It contemplates a feeling as a fact existing within itself, and on this assumption proceeds to give expression to it. It transcends, the subconscious transcends reason. It does not look at circumstances. It does not consider the situation. It does not consider the level of difficulty. It doesn't look at how much it costs. It doesn't look at how long it's going to take. It doesn't look at how it hurt you, how it came, what happened, who said it, who done it, or who didn't do it. It does not look at that stuff. It does not look at the stock market. It does not look at your credit score. It does not look at anything. It considers nothing. It does not reason. Independent of it, analyzing, comparing. It contemplates a feeling as a fact. It contemplates what you feel. How you feel. That's a fact to it. How you feel, it accepts it as a fact. And on this assumption, it assumes, proceeds, and gives expression to it. The creative process begins with an idea, and its cycle runs its course as a feeling and ends in volition to act. Ideas are impressed on the subconscious through the medium of feeling. No idea can be expressed on the subconscious until it is felt. But once felt, be it good, bad, or indifferent, it must be expressed. Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. Therefore, the man who does not control his feeling may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. By control of feeling is not meant restraint or suppression of your feeling, but rather the discipline of self to imagine and entertain what? Only such feeling as contributes to your happiness. Control of your feeling is all important to a full and happy life. So it says, the Bible says, what, think on these things? Meaning don't think on those things. Think on these things. You can choose what you think on. All the time. Constantly. How you feel about it? How you feel? Never entertain an undesirable feeling. So how many people this weekend entertained some undesirable feeling? Just move your eye. Nobody can see you.
Who didn't?
Yeah. You said, who did?
Right.
Undesirable feeling. Last week, did you get mad at something that happened?
Yes.
Somebody? You couldn't control that. Because it's your medicine. I mean, it's messing with your mind. It's affecting your healing, whatever you're working on. You got something in the oven. It's got to be maintained at 450. If the recipe calls for that. You can't let it drop down to 350 and get cold because you're mad. It's got to stay hot at 450 no matter what intervenes. Never entertain an undesirable feeling nor think sympathetically about wrong in any shape or form. Do not dwell in the imperfection of yourself or others. To do so is to impress the subconscious with these limitations. What you do not want done unto you, do not feel that it is done unto you or another. This is the whole law of a fully and happy life. Everything else is commentary. Every feeling makes a subconscious impression, and unless it is counteracted by a more powerful feeling of opposite nature, it must be expressed. The dominant of two feelings is the one expressed. I am healthy is a stronger feeling than I will be healthy.
Right. Yes. Yes.
I am means right now is a stronger feeling than I will be.
Yes.
This transportation situation is resolved now is stronger than the Lord will make a way. If we, I will.
Yes.
This problem with this child, this husband, this wife, this neighbor, this employer, or whatever employee, it's resolved now or it will be. To feel I will be is to confess I am not. I am is stronger than I am not. What you feel you are always dominates what you feel you would like to be. Therefore, to be realized, the wish must be what? Felt. As a state that what? That is, rather than a state what? That is not. Now here's that word sensation. Can I tell you, we'll get to that? Sensation, that's feeling. That's feeling precedes manifestation and is the foundation upon which all manifestation rests. What you sense, what you allow to come in to your nation, to your world, to your globe. Be careful of your moods and feelings, for there is an unbroken connection between your feelings and your visible world. Your body is an emotional filter and bears the unmistakable marks of your prevalent emotions. Emotional disturbances, especially suppressed emotions, are the causes of all disease. To feel intensely about a wrong without voicing or expressing that feeling is the beginning of disease. Disease in both body and the environment. Do not entertain the freedom of regret or failure. Do not entertain the feeling of regret or failure for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Do not entertain the feeling of regret or failure for frustration or detachment from your objective results in disease. Think feelingly only of the state you desire to realize, feeling the reality of the state sought, and living and acting on that conviction is the way of all seeming miracles. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling. All changes of expression are brought about through a change of feeling.
This is tea.
A change of feeling is a change of destiny. All creation occurs in the domain of the subconscious. What you must acquire then is a reflective control of the operation of the subconscious, that is, control of your ideas and feelings. Chance or accident is not responsible for the things that happen to you, nor is predestined fate the author of your fortune or misfortune. Your subconscious impressions determine the conditions of your world. The subconscious is not selective. It is impersonal and no respecter of persons. Romans 2:11 says the subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feeling. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. That wasn't Romans 2:11. I don't know how they got it. But anyway, the subconscious is not concerned with the truth or falsity of your feeling. It always accepts as true that which you feel to be true. Feeling is the assent of the subconscious to the truth, of that which is declared to be true. Because of the quality of the subconscious, there's nothing impossible to man. Whatever the mind of man can conceive and feel as true, the subconscious can and must objectify. Your feelings create the pattern from which your world is fashioned. And a change of feeling is a change of pattern. Every day in every way, I'm getting better at that. Every day, in every way, I am getting better and better. That's false. It's false. Think about it. See, that's the feeling that we're leaving here with. And when you think about that thing that you're working on, that you're wanting to change, or that thing that you're trying to demonstrate or draw into your life or create or manifest. Oh, every day in every way. I just got that feeling that this intelligence, that this thing called God, that the Lord, which is the Lord, is bringing it to pass. And then you imagine at the Grand Canyon, those sheets and sheets of rock. Then you see the tree growing. Then you bring your mind back to your prayer desire, whatever you're working with. I just feel that same law is working in my life in this situation and bringing it to pass. I don't know how. I'm resting into the chair. I got a feeling that everything is going to be all right. I got a feeling that, just stop Bluetoothing. Put your Bluetooth on. And just go crazy. And whatever, here's what I do. Whatever thought comes to your mind, speak it. That's God praying through you and telling you what to say. He says, not your word, but what my words that go forth out of my mouth shall not harm any boy. Stop saying your stuff. Get happy about what you are speaking, because you're hearing it for the first time yourself. You're just saying what's come through your mind. Let it flow. And those are words of creative power that's going out and objectifying and coming. So let's say every day. Every day, in every way, I am getting better